myself. Oh no, give me that cell. Oh, I gotta go like Cobain. 8 years to the grave, gone insane. My blood got propane. How you gon' go and throw my name with shame? Already cross-faded, making it to the disco. I hate it, and you know how this goes. You framed it, picture painted in my room. This that real life shit, none of Zoom, got the scene in it.
Make sure you subscribe to JerCrispy.
What's up, y'all? It's your host, that's the most. JerCrispy, welcome back to another video. Forgotten Video Games by the Gamer One. Well, the One Gamer. And should I come subscribe, follow social media is gonna pop up on the screen. Let's see what the most forgotten games. I know a lot of forgotten games that a lot of people don't play no more like that, bro.
As a YouTuber that covers a lot of lost media
matter of fact, we could talk about a few. Tipper Run. Like a lot of people don't play Tipper Run, Subway Surfer, the Jetpack game, Fun Run. If we really want to take it there, that eating game with the little green thing, the little fruit ninja. All other games that we used to play as little kids and stuff like that.
Come across time and time again games that are not lost media but are lost from people's memories, completely buried away and forgotten. Today I'm covering a selection of games that were very popular back.
Tropical, Club Penguin, what other games? I was just talking about that like with my brother and my dog, bro.
In the day, but are now rarely mentioned, as if they've been wiped off the face of the planet. Before we get started, a like and sub would be truly appreciated, and comment down below which games you'd like me to cover in my next video. By the way, I am looking for an editor to help me with my videos, so if you want more information on that, check the video description or skip to the end of the video. But without further ado, let's get into it.
I knew it. Fun Run. I was just thinking.
The first games we're covering today are Fun Run 1 and Fun Run 2. I used to grind these games all day when I was a kid, and I honestly hadn't heard about them for like a decade before one of you decided to leave a comment about them that really sent me back in time. Fun Run is a series of side-scrolling multiplayer battle racing games in which a bunch of players have to run to the finish line, and along the way there are these Mario Kart-esque mystery boxes that give you random power-ups. This can create a lot of chaos in the game and makes it super fun and unique. Looking back at some gameplay of Fun Run, it was actually a lot more gory than I remember it being, and maybe a little bit too gory for a kid's game. Fun Run 1 and 2 were actually taken down from the App Store and replaced with Fun Run 3 and 4. Now, the first two games are not lost media, but since they are multiplayer, a large part of their functionality doesn't work anymore. Fun Run 3 is still quite similar to the first two games, but the fourth game is actually a lot more polished and has a 3D look unlike the previous games. Now, I'm sure that the newer games are fun, but to be honest, you can never match the OGs. So let me know, did you play any of the Fun Run games?
I played both of the Fun Runs games, bro. Before they even took it down, bro. Shit. Beat the boss.
Staying on the topic of Fun Run just a little bit longer, I vividly remember a game that was super similar to it, but instead it featured the boss from Beat the Boss as one of the characters. It was also one of these battle running types of games, and I guess they were trying to hop on the trend. I ended up finding this game and it was just called Battle Run, and it was developed by the same people who made the Beat the Boss games. This game released in 2013 and was actually up for a few years until it got taken down, but eventually it came back to the App Store in 2022. And has been available ever since. But we're not talking about Battle Run today, we're talking about Beat the Boss. But if you haven't heard of Beat the Boss, then you must have heard about Kick the Buddy, which this game is basically a copy of. But if you haven't heard about neither, then Beat the Boss is a stress reliever game in which you use any methods in your power in order to torture the boss. And as you deal damage to him, you get money which you can use to buy even more powerful weapons to hurt him with. This genre of games was pretty popular at the time for some reason. Games like Kick the Buddy, Office Jerk, and even Talking Tom gave you the ability to just
that's why I forgot. Talking Tom. Then they had a Talking Ben Allison and all, even the little yellow orange cat too.
Over and over and over again. I'm not sure what made people so stressed at the time that they had to take their anger out on an in-game character, But this genre of games was really liked. I mean, we're talking billions of downloads. Today, the original Beat the Boss game is no longer available on any app store, but you can quite easily find the APK or IPA files for the game online.
Hungry Shark, that too,
Our
that's a
next
fire
entry
game
are
too.
the Hungry Shark line of games, more specifically Hungry Shark Evolution. Now this game has more than 500 million downloads on Android alone, and it's not even the only Hungry Shark game that was released, so it's safe to say that they've had well over 1 billion views. It's a game in which you play as a shark who needs to eat other fish, crustaceans, and people
just to get bigger and bigger, and you have to get like, bro, don't fight like the bigger sharks. If you fight the bigger sharks, you dead. You gotta start all over
in
again.
order to stay alive. There's a bar on your screen that decreases every second and that you can replenish by eating these creatures, but if the bar runs out, then you lose. This game was super addictive. The higher score you got, the more money you'd earn, and you could actually buy bigger and stronger sharks that could explore more of the map.
Right.
The shark that you start off with is only able to eat a limited number of fish, which restricts your movement greatly because you'd get eaten if you tried to go to a bigger part of the map where there are fish that are bigger than you. There are also bombs and other obstacles which would instantly kill you if you touch them, unless you got a big enough shark that could just eat them straight up. This was definitely a game that I grinded back in the day on my iPad, and it's definitely one of the best games that Ubisoft produced.
Dang.
It's definitely not unknown today, since it sometimes appears on the top 200 apps on the App Store, but not many people talk about it, and that's why I decided to add it into this video.
Bring back memories every time, bro. Sound like somebody eating on the apple, bro.
Explore hand-picked hotels through the edit and unlock upgraded stays with Chase Sapphire Reserve. Make more of what's yours.
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
The GOAT!
These do bring on that. Dix is the GOAT.
This is Tasty Planet. It's a game where you basically start as a bacteria that is meant to serve as a cleaning solution. And the way you clean is by eating dirt and other particles. The thing is, the scientist who invented it did not realize...
There's a game called the Worm Game that we used to play in middle school all the way to like high school before they had banned the shit in high school that you couldn't watch YouTube and all that shit, bro. They started that shit right after quarantine. I remember that shit. It was a worm game that you had to go run around and get all the little like pellet ball. You had to get like enough just to be bigger. Then you had to circle it to kill somebody. Like dead serious, bro. That game was
you
lit.
Get bigger each time you ate something, and at one point you get so big that you eat the entire world. This game came out around 2011, and some of you, if you're old enough, may remember playing this game. Me personally, I did not play the mobile version as a kid. I actually remember playing the desktop version, which you can find today on those sketchy game websites like Pokey. The PC version, which is the one you're currently seeing on your screen, is starting to show its age, but there is the mobile version, which has always been a kind of remaster of the PC version. And quite recently, they actually updated it to work on newer aspect ratios. So the mobile version actually holds up quite well to this day. So if you're looking to play this game, I'd recommend playing the mobile version.
Yep, I just mentioned that.
Temple Run was a generational game, and it inspired many people's favorite mobile game today, which is Subway Surfers. It was basically an infinite running game in which you're chased by this big monster, like kind of like crow gorilla type thing. And along the way, you'd collect coins and increase your score as much as possible as the game speeds up, and you try to not get hit by any obstacles. Subway Surfers pretty much took this exact formula and just put it on a subway, but I'll always know that Temple Run did it first. But even though Subway Surfers stole a...
Bro, why is this nigga yelling, bro? Why is this nigga yelling, bro?
A lot of Temple Run's glory, Temple Run was still wildly successful, even collaborating with Disney on a Temple Run game with the main character being Princess Merida from the Brave movie. This game had a really cool vibe about it that you don't find in mobile games today, and it'll always have a special place in my heart. It also had a couple of sequels that had some really cool mechanics added, like riding a cart down a cave. So Let me know if you played Temple Run as a kid, or any games that I mentioned in this video. Also, important announcement, I'm looking for an editor to help me to be able to create more content for you guys. So if you guys like my content and you've watched a few of my videos and have somewhat of a general understanding of the type of content that I make, then feel free to contact me through some of the ways in the description. I have my email in there, my Discord, and you can also just join my Discord server and ping me there. Make sure to provide some examples of edits you've done in the past so I can get an idea of the work that you do. This next part is optional, but if you like, you can take a short clip from one of my
Damn, my nigga, if you about to just explain how edit, that's it, my nigga. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow on social media, pop on the screen. I see y'all when I see y'all. Lay up to the bottom heart, and I'm out.